This week, our heroes talk about their misbehaving pets, what movies should be deleted from the face of the earth, and why is Tiger King back in the news? All this and more in this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. Anybody want a cat? Meow. Welcome to this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. We are good for your ears. I'm Dan, and you can find me at RFS Dan.
And I'm Jess, and you can find me everywhere at Gone to the Snow Dogs and Snow Dogs Vlogs.
Oh, coming to you super early. It's barely 8 o'clock in the morning here in ashy Southern California, but it's still falling from the sky because we're still on fire here.
That's what I heard. I heard Colorado's on fire as well.
Copycats. OG fire right here. Don't take the second best. We're
right?
OG fires here. So, yeah, super fire season. I can't really see it. I try to go out there and get some footage of it, but you can't really see it. It's in the hills. But today, since the sun's still kind of creeping up off the west, off the east side. Wait, sets west. Oh my gosh. Since it's coming up in the east, it's like orangey out.
Yeah, so it probably looks like fire.
It does, yeah, but I can't really see too much. But there's a bunch of ash on the car still, so obviously they don't have it under control yet. It looks kind of pretty, but it feels like it's like muggy-ish. I don't know. It's weird temperature. But it's been weird temperature for like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, you've had ridiculously hot out there. Like,
yeah,
ridiculously hot. What'd they say? They recorded the highest temperature since 1913 was recorded in Death Valley?
Oh, yeah, and Death Valley is like, might be a couple hours, I think more like north of me, but I still get the same thing. I'm still in Death Antelope Valley. Right.
They recorded a temperature of 130 degrees out there.
Dang, that is crazy.
Isn't that nuts? I'm like, that's hot. That's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to keep it cool here as we're podcasting, and I'm doing all these waving motions because Mouse is in the turtle tank. Get out! Do not drink the turtle's water. Get out! I gotta throw this pillow. Hold on. Ugh. It didn't work. The cat fears nothing. Oh, now I'm throwing equipment. Hey, you! Please don't. No! Run! Hey, get out of there! You know better than to be in there. Oh my gosh! When did you become so bad?
Maybe the turtle water tastes better.
Oh, what's it taste like? It can't possibly taste any better. It's just the same water that comes out of the tap. This guy's just been bad. I'm sorry to derail our weather talk, but oh my gosh.
Oh, weather talk is boring. Instead, we can talk about our pets that are jerks.
Oh, this one is full jerk mode. I love the guy, but full jerk mode. He's just out of control.
I wonder if it's like something in the universe, because Kira yesterday literally was the worst she's been since she was a baby.
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that or not, but yes she was. Go ahead.
I think I vlogged some of it, but where was I? I was outside working in the camper.
Uh-huh.
And I put up the gates so that they're only allowed in the living room because I know better. Usually if she's allowed full roam of the house, something is going to get chewed on. Like, she's still a puppy and she's still a husky. So normally when we leave, I put up the gates and they're allowed in the living room and I play the radio for them. And I have the best camera views in that room anyway. So the first thing she did was she ate my sign that my mom got for me that said something like, every time my dog winks at me, I think it's a code or whatever the sign says. Oh. That sign has been sitting there ever since we got her, and she's never touched it, ever. But yesterday I moved my YouTube play buttons into my office and put them up on a wall, and that sign got shifted down. So it moved, and apparently that meant it was fair game. So she ate that. She tried to rip apart her snuffle mat. She tried to rip apart a intelligence toy. She ate the knob off of the
she ate the
cabinet.
Knob
what
off
else
the
did she
cabinet.
eat? Yeah. Oh, there was a jar with rocks in it.
Yes.
And she decided that she wanted to take the top off. So she got the top off this jar, spilt the water all over the living room.
Yes.
And spilt rocks everywhere. Thankfully, she didn't try to eat any of the rocks. She just ripped the lid off and spilt the jar and knocked it over. And that she did while Jamie was out front working on his Jeep. So I think she was annoyed that she could see him and she thought she was going somewhere, but he wasn't coming back in to get her. So I think she just started to get, like, I don't know if irritated or anxious is the right word. So I think she was just destroying things. But yeah, and napkins and a paper towel roll.
Wow, she was mad.
That was all yesterday. Yesterday.
You sent me the video, and I was looking, and she was so bad on the couch. Just that look on her face.
Yeah. So the other thing is it's not like we didn't do anything. First thing yesterday morning, I got up and I took them for a 1.5 mile walk. And then not long after that, Indy came over and they played for an hour and a half outside, nonstop running and in the pool and all of that stuff. And then we went for another walk last night. Like, it's not, and she went for a Jeep ride. And we got ice cream. It's not like we didn't do anything.
So
like,
she's straight up mad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think she's just, she's bored in the house and she's in the house bored. Like, I don't know. But she's not, because we're doing things. Want to trade?
It's hard. Maybe I do, but the cat wants to bite my feet, and the cat's got so much energy, and I try to wear him out. Like, I do a good job on playing with his little string and stuff like that, but he's just straight up a kitten, so I don't know. I still think Kira is a little bit more well-behaved. I don't know, yesterday's antics, though. Oh, that video was just great. She ripped up everything. She laid there. She looked half like she knew guilty, and then half unapologetic.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, she knew what she did.
She knew what she did, and I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, she's so well behaved, and you take them out for walks twice a day, and so I don't know. She was making a statement. She had something to say. She had a complaint to file, and she did.
Yep.
She did.
Well, the other thing is I was outside in the morning, and they weren't outside with me because I was in the camper, and then I left to go. I had to go to Meyer. And then I had to go drop my Jeep off. So I was gone multiple times during the day yesterday, never for very long. And then Jamie was gone all morning because he was over at Eric's. And I think it was that. It was just not a routine day for her. You know, we were both gone and in and out of the house. And then Jamie was out front working. So I think her routine was off yesterday. So she didn't know how to act.
She had a bad day. What about Little Miss Perfect?
I even brought her kennel upstairs. I'm like, that's it. We're going to leave and you can sit in this kennel. And I put her in it and she's staring at me. And I'm like, nope, you got to stay in there now. You don't know how to behave.
That was my favorite picture.
Oh my gosh. She laid down and just looked at me like, do I really have to stay in here?
She knew. That face, I could tell that she knew. She's like, I'm busted. I'm busted. Yep. This cat hasn't done anything really bad per se. Like, he's not really chewing up my wires or doing anything like that. Although he has a knack for stepping on the power button on the power strips.
Oh, God.
For a minute, I thought my computer was out, or I thought we had another power outage. Now he's taking laps. If you guys know what my house looks like, he's taking laps from, like, Blake's bedroom all the way to the cat tree and back and flying over the couch and stuff. And he's crazy. But he's not really destructive or anything. He's just, like, on 10. Like, Mr. Tails is old man Tails. He's just walking through the kitchen, and this cat does some sort of Jackie Chan move and dives over him, and while he's over him, he wraps his arms around Tails' stomach and rolls around on the ground. Oh, yeah, he's being super crazy right now. He's being really super crazy. He's got those ears and that look on his face of, like, manicness as he's just running around. Nobody wants to really play with him, though. Sometimes I see, like, the cats chase him around a tiny bit, but I'm pretty much his best friend as far as, like, you know, getting his energy out goes.
Right.
But yeah, it's increasingly ramping up in crazy team cat activity as he gets more comfortable with the house. Yep, and he's gone again. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to hear him in the background the whole podcast. Never mind him.
You know, I wonder how close in age they are. Because your vet said that cat was a little over a year old, right?
No, close to a year. Like, close to a year? Judging by his teeth.
Okay, well, because Kira's just over a year old. So Kira right now is entering what would be considered like her teenage years, which for Huskies is normally when they go from, I'm a really good dog, to, I'm going to test everything you've ever taught me ever.
I think that's happening.
Yeah, for about the next month or two, it'll be a lot of that. Because she's also reverted to, when I let her outside, she's not coming in. I had to go pick up my Jeep yesterday from getting the oil changed, and I had her outside with me, and I'm like, okay, you know, we're outside, it's great, blah, 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 and she decided that she just wasn't going to come inside, and I'm like, well, you got to come inside, like, I got to leave, and they closed at 5:30, they closed at 6, but I thought they closed at 5:30, and it was 10 after 5. And I'm like, I gotta go get my Jeep. I spent 5 minutes trying to get her inside, finally went out front, told Jamie, I'm like, I'm done. I can't get her to come inside. Nothing is working. And he went out there, and it took him 5 minutes to get her to come in, and she always comes in for him. Oh. So I think she's back to the whole testing everything. So to break that habit, what I do is half the time she goes outside, she gets free rein. The other half the time I put her on her leash and put her on that short leash that I have out there. Yeah. So she never knows which one is happening. But if she comes in when I call her, the next time I let her out, I don't put her on the leash. Then if she doesn't come in the time after that, she goes on the leash.
She gets leashed again?
But she figures it out. she figures out that, okay, if I come in, I get to come back outside. If I don't come in, I don't get to come back outside. So she's not stupid. Like, she figures it out.
It's just a big game.
Too smart. That's the life of... Why do you think I started that series on TikTok called Life with the Husky?
Life with the Husky? Well, when I was out there, she was kind of doing the same thing, but for the first day or two, she listened to me until she figured out that I have nothing for her and I can benefit her in no way. And then after that, she wouldn't come in anymore.
Yep, you were boring. She was like, oh, I already know you. I've had my fun with you.
Yeah. Mouse wants out. This cat wants out all the time, but he can't go out because there's a main street there. And when I play with him, he is so laser focused on the toy itself. He does not care what he's knocking over or what he's running into or who he's hitting. Same when food's around. Oh my gosh, he's just taking laps around here. I have my camera out because I was trying to make this video, and so he's meowing around the house. What is your problem? Come over here and podcast. Oh wow, now he's on top of the refrigerator and he's on top of my counter. This cat's
is that him?
Oh yeah, that's him. That's plenty hilarious. Of food and water. No, hey, get down. You can't do that. Oh yes, that's trade.
I will say right now, Kira is sound asleep at my feet. But we went for a long walk this morning. I planned this.
Yeah, and I exercise the cat. Like, I run him around the house and stuff like that until eventually he just gives up and lays in the middle of the kitchen floor because that's his post right there on the kitchen floor. Come here. Hey, what's your problem? But let's trade. I'm willing to trade.
You're like, I'm good. I'm good.
Yep. I had it in here on my topics things. It just says Kira was bad. And then right next to it, it says cat was bad. Get down. No, get down. Do not step on the power cord. Oh my gosh, this has turned into like the crazy cast already. I haven't even talked about any topics yet. Oh no. Yeah, so that's life with a kitten.
Life with a kitten.
Yeah.
See, you could start a TikTok and you could do life with a kitten.
It's just me cussing and swearing a bunch.
That's hilarious though. People love it.
No, he really is good. Like he should be into more mischief than that. What he doesn't do very well is just right now he tried to hop over the couch and his back legs hit the couch and he just went tumbling onto the ground. Anyway, so that's life with Mr. Mouse. He's otherwise he's pretty good. Oh my gosh. So I have a question about your town, Jess.
Oh, okay. About my town?
About your town, about this little town of Alpena that you love so much that is missing something crucial and vital that I wasn't able to find online the other day.
Uh-oh.
There are no donut shops in your town.
There are no donut shops in my town. There used to be.
No donut shops in your town.
There used to be. We used to have a Dunkin' Donuts. We used to have a place called Bud's Donuts, which was actually...
Like a little private donut place?
Yep. It was a bakery that this guy had. It was there for years. Bud's Donuts was everybody knew it. They had a place where you could drink coffee, and like everybody would go there and you drink coffee and eat donuts, and they made cakes and pies and like everything you could imagine. That is a void in Alpena that needs to be filled for sure. We have
like jelly filled?
Yeah, like jelly filled. We've had a few places over the years that have come and gone and tried it, but the problem is none of them have been very good. Or they've had really bad locations. Like we had Miller Street Bakery for a while, which then turned into Two Dough Nuts, which was these two ladies that opened it, and it was called and now Two Dough Nuts was amazing. Their donuts were to die for, but they were in a really bad location, so people just forgot that they were there.
Wow. Yeah. I just don't get how it's such a big part of Sundays or the communities or people that go to church, you go get the donuts for church. I don't understand how one donut shop, a real donut shop in your town can't thrive.
I'm sure it could. It just has to have the right location. Right now, here in Alpena, people get donuts from either Neiman's or from Meijer. That's pretty much
from Meijer.
Yeah.
That's when you go to Google or you go to any other site and you Google donuts, it shows Meijer.
Yeah, there is one other place that's about 15 miles out of town called AJ's Farms, and they're doing donuts out there. They do the cider style donuts that you get at what are they called? Orchards, like an apple orchard. So they started doing donuts out there, and I've heard they're amazing. I haven't been out there yet. And then the other place that does them is the actual apple farm but they're only open for like 2 months. But when the apple farm's open, that's where Jamie and I go. We'll go up there and buy a dozen donuts every other week just because they're so good. But yeah, other than
we gotta
that,
sell the deli and open a donut shop.
see, and that, that's a possibility because we could, you could have a bakery, and then the deli could also sell all the stuff, and you could make all the bread for the deli.
You have a record store, you have a really nice big comic book shop,
Yeah.
but you don't have a place for donuts?
And we have 4 coffee shops. We have 4
With
coffee
no
shops
donuts.
with no donuts.
What do I get in there? Only coffee?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I don't like coffee.
We have 2 Big B coffees. We have Cabin Creek coffee, and then and Cabin Creek coffee has sweets, but they don't have donuts. And then North Country Candy has a coffee bar, but they don't have they have candy, but they don't have donuts. They don't have donuts because they don't have the ability there to make them. I think that's the same thing.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, kind of.
How do you live without like donuts? When was the last time you had like a maple bar or like?
Oh, we go to we go to Tim Hortons.
Oh, but Tim Hortons is like 2 hours away.
No, it's only an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I don't want donuts by then. It's so long to get there that I'm already on to the next meal.
See, but we live a different lifestyle than you. Like, when we want that's something where we wake up in the morning and go, let's go get donuts, and we throw the dogs in the car, and we make a full day trip out of it. We drive all the way down there. We either go to Tawas or to Gaylord. We drive over there, we get a bunch of donuts, and then we take all the back roads, or we go shopping if we want to, and we come home, and we make a day trip out of it. Like, that's just, for us, it turns into an adventure.
I guess for donuts, not everything has to be this epic, like, eco-challenge to get something. Look, here's how donuts really work. I drive up the street, I come back with a pink box of a dozen donuts, we eat donuts, and then we start our day.
Right.
I don't have to, like, go and take the Oregon Trail to get donuts.
Well, I mean, that's an opportunity that's here. Somebody should open a bakery here.
I'm coming there, and I'm going to open up a donut shop. Hold on. Keep in mind, I have no idea how to make donuts.
Right, or run a business.
Oh yeah! Oh, ouch! Yes, that's the other part too. That's the other part. I might not be able to pay the bills, but like somebody's got to open up this donut shop. You got Jess. Come on, we got a Snow Dogs donuts. I don't know, but there needs to be a donut shop. I just cannot believe that that's happening in your town. Like I don't know how. Like your donut levels must be at an all-time low right now.
I don't eat donuts that often.
Yeah, you can't.
Well,
you don't have any in your town.
Even when we had Dunkin' Donuts and we had all that stuff here, it just wasn't. I don't know. Apparently, it's not as popular here. I don't know.
You know why you don't go to Disneyland that much? Because there's no Disneyland in your town. There could be. There's all kinds of other ridiculous things in your town, but not that.
Apparently not.
Oh, yeah. So I just thought that was interesting that there is no donut shops in your town.
Nope, not at all.
Please open up a donut shop. Oh, speaking of that, okay. Speaking of food talk, so we got an Instapot.
I heard.
Oh my gosh, you've talked about this Instapot voodoo magic thing for years.
I have. And
There's finally one in my house now.
And you've made fun of me for it for years.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
And so I got the Instapot. I opened it up. I'm like, I'm going to make chicken and rice. I'm going to make chicken and rice all week long in one Instapot. And I'm going to meal prep, and I'm going to put them all in their individual things, and I'm going to lose all this weight. It's going to be great. So I buy all the ingredients, and there's so many Instapot recipes. So I buy all the ingredients, I throw it in the Instapot. You know how that goes. I'm sauteing whatever that means. I'm sauteing my chicken, and I put rice in there, and I'm cooking it, and everything's going great. And then at the end, it's like, all right, you got to release this valve and let all the steam out. And I wish I would have recorded it. I was hiding on the backside of the counter. I would reach my hand over, and I would flick the little thing, and it would let out all the steam. And I let it steam out for like 10 minutes because I was scared. And then opening the lid, oh my gosh, it was like I was diffusing a bomb. I had a towel like over my face because in my mind it's gonna go boom and it's gonna blow chicken all over the kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'm on my knees, I'm like hiding, and then I open it up, and it was like the best chicken ever.
Yeah. Weird.
It was so good. I don't understand how it cooks that fast.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's not that fast. It's kind of a little bit of a lie. It's like, it needs 5-minute cook time. And I'm like, there is no way this like 2-inch thick piece of chicken is going to cook in 5 minutes, right? So, but it comes up to pressure, then it cooks, and then it releases pressure. So it's really sitting in there for, 20 minutes.
Right.
but it still tasted so much better in the oven. I've been having this complaint of going and buying chicken at the store, not frozen chicken, but it's so watery that when I cook it in the oven and I cut it, it just feels like there's just like a bunch of water in there, and I don't like it. So then I started barbecuing my chicken because it would dry it out. I don't even care if it's a little overcooked. Like, I just want it dried out. This Instapot made the chicken like perfectly, and you have to put a liquid in there too, which is odd. It's like perfectly like moisty, like, but not, I don't know. It was really, really good. It was very evenly cooked. The rice was very evenly cooked. I was really, really, really excited about it. I'm like, this is great. So I get it and I cut it up and I put it in like 4 or 5 different bins because I'm going to eat it all week. And then I ate almost all the bins last night, the day before. Like, so now I'm eating more food because it's in there.
And it's only Wednesday.
And I only have 1 left. So I've eaten a few. I've eaten a few of those things. But I do love the Instapot. I went on this Instapot, like, YouTube rabbit hole where I started watching, like, things not to do with your Instapot and things to do with your Instapot and meals you can make with your Instapot. And oh my gosh, all these stay-at-home moms have insanely successful YouTube channels based around only the Instapot.
Yep, there's one called, what is it, 3 Sisters?
No, it's like 6 Sisters or something. She's like,
Six Sisters, that's what it is.
I'm sister number 6 from 6 Sisters. And I'm like, hold on, is this like a collab channel? Are they really sisters? What's going on? So
they really are.
Really? And there's 6 of them and they all have a collab channel?
Yeah.
That is genius. It had millions of views. Like, it was successful.
Well, it's because the Instapot is a trending thing right now, and everybody wants to know how to use it. So they literally made a cooking channel that's nothing but Instant Pot.
It is, and it's crazy. They have all these attachments. I started falling down the attachment rabbit holes.
Yeah.
They have these crazy things that when you let out steam, they have different heads on there. There was like a dragon head, and yeah, so it lets the steam out, and it was crazy. But I was watching it mostly because I needed tips. It's like, do this, don't do that. And some of the tips are like obvious, like, why would you do that? And some of the tips are, I'm like, I think maybe it was 25 tips on what not to do with the Instapot, and I did like I would have done 17 of them if I did not watch this video. Do not move it. Do not take it with you. Pressurize. So it's like it makes you feel like you have to like be very careful with this Instapot, but at the same time, it's so easy.
And that's what I've been trying to tell you the whole time. Is it's so easy. Like, when you told me this, that you got the Instant Pot and that you made the chicken and rice, I was kind of telling Jamie, I'm like, Dan's been picking on me for the Instant Pot for forever. And I started talking Instant Pot talk. And I haven't used mine in a couple weeks. We've just been busy. You know, I haven't done a whole lot of meal prep. It's always been this last minute thing. What do I have? This is what we're having. Eat it or don't. So, like, I ended up, I was talking to him about it, and he goes, I want your Instant Pot lasagna.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And I was going to Meijer. Greg was coming over that night, and I was going to Meijer. And I'm like, I have half the stuff I need. I have the noodles. I have the hamburger. I'm like, all I need is the cheese. Yeah, I could do that. So I made Instant Pot lasagna again the other day.
It looked really good. It looked cooked well.
It's so good. I don't like lasagna. Like, I don't like how runny it is, and I love spaghetti. Mm-hmm. I've never liked lasagna. It's never been a thing I've liked. I love it in the Instant Pot. I don't know why. I really don't, but I do. I love it. I love the way it turns out. I love the way it tastes. So normally I'll make it with like leftover spaghetti sauce. Like, I'll make spaghetti and I'll freeze it, and then a couple days later or whatever, I'll make lasagna and I'll use the spaghetti sauce as the sauce, just because that's pretty much what it is anyway. But this time he wanted lasagna, so I used one pot. I mixed all my spaghetti sauce stuff together, and I cooked it for 5 minutes in the Instant Pot, and then I took all that out and I layered all my stuff and made my lasagna. So we had Instant Pot lasagna the other day.
It looked really good. I have not tried it. Obviously, the only thing I've ever had in the Instant Pot was chicken, and then you cooked something when I was out there in the Instant Pot, but I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was either, but you had it. So I've had Instant Pot food twice. I'm a big fan now. Like, I think this is really good. I guess I was a little naive. Oh my gosh, Rizzo, stop. Oh, they're literally playing tag through the whole house. So, I thought maybe it was a little bit more manual, but still, like, I still had to saute the chicken in the Instapot. I had to clean the bottom of it, then I had to do the rice and the stuff in there, and then I had to, like, flip it over and so I figured, like, I threw, like, all the stuff in there, and it like did it all by itself. But you still have to have a little bit of prep.
There are recipes that are called, if you look up Instant Pot dump and go recipes, there are recipes that's literally what you do. You take everything, you throw it in there. When I make stew, The only thing I have to do is when I cube the meat, I saute the meat for like 2 minutes, and then I literally just dump everything else in there, and I make stew in the Instapot.
Yeah, the word dump and go is so popular amongst the YouTube community with Instapot people.
Yes.
Dump and go. There's this one lady who I liked, and she had like every Instapot there. They were all lined up together, and this one's for this, and that one's for that, and I use this one for fondue. And it was, so I fell down the Instapot rabbit hole. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I can't wait. The best part about the whole thing is I did not have to turn on my oven.
That is one of my favorite things about it. The fact that I don't have to turn on the oven. The fact that, like, I have an electric oven, so it takes quite a bit of time for it to preheat in general. And yeah, the Instant Pot does as well. But I feel like every Instant Pot recipe I've ever done, I don't feel like I'm wasting time waiting. Like, I feel like even when I have to saute something ahead of time or flip something over, I feel like it's always just go, 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 and then it's done. Right,
because you don't get to look at the oven. You don't have to wait for it.
Right.
You don't have to deal with it. It comes out the same every time. Like, every bite of rice tasted good. It wasn't like 2 minutes more. It didn't need 2 more minutes. I liked it, but I didn't have to turn on my oven. So right now, when we started, it was 84 degrees out. It is already 89 degrees out.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's almost 80 in this house. I don't want to turn on the oven for anything.
Right.
There's still things that I'm learning about it though. Like it doesn't like crisp or cook or anything. I can't put bacon in there and have bacon come out. You know?
No, you'd have to get the air fryer lid for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Baby steps. One of the things though that it did say, it was like, do not put it on top of your stove. What kind of stove do you say you have?
I have a electric glass top stove.
Yeah, and then it showed a bunch of screenshots of all the people who's accidentally bumped their stove on or something while the Instapot was on there, and it blew out the bottom of the Instapot.
Yeah, I think the thing with the Instant Pot is, you know, and I'm not picking on anybody. I don't want to make fun of anybody, but I think that part of the issue with the issues that happen with it is exactly like what you said. People just they didn't read the instructions, or they aren't paying attention, because there's like common sense should tell you this thing is building pressure. Don't try to move it. And common sense should tell you that if there is still pressure coming out of it when you vent it, don't try to open the lid. And common sense should also tell you always open the lid away from your face.
Right. Like I said, I missed like 17 items on there. Like I would have gotten wrong. So I would have at least done something. I'm very cautious and still a little like scared of it. But the amount of people that have done stuff wrong to it. And the one thing I did try to look up, because I'm like, okay, how bad is it? So I tried to look up Instant Pot, like lid blowing up, Instapot exploding and stuff. There's no videos of that.
No.
So I might have to make one.
Well, I mean, you could. It might go viral. Wait until you make like pulled chicken sandwiches or pulled barbecue pork sandwiches or buffalo chicken sandwiches.
Oh man, barbecues his house. It's just blown up everywhere. I gotta
get the recipe for my brother for the Italian hot Italian beef sandwiches that he makes at the deli, because oh my god, I missed that so much, and he hasn't made it in a while. So
you can put those in the Instapot?
Yeah, that's how he made it. He made it in the Instapot.
Interesting.
Yeah, you just take the meat and you throw everything else in there and you cook it, and then it pulls apart with a fork like nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that because I think I have a roast beast in the freezer that's chilling there, so I'm gonna have to put one in there. I have the 6-quart one. I want like the small 3 one just for me.
Yeah, I have the 6-quart one as well.
Yeah, I want a 3 one. I was at Target yesterday and they had one there, but it didn't have a price on it. They're probably like $60 or so.
Yeah, probably, because I would say probably $60. They make a 1.5-quart one as well.
Ooh, I wonder if that's too small.
That's pretty small. And I don't know if Instant Pot brand makes that. I think it's a different brand that makes that one.
Mine is Instapot. Mine is the brand Instapot. So you guys will have to stay tuned to see what else I pot next. But so far, so good. Like, obviously, there's things I would change on it for the next time I did it. But for 1.0 and never doing it before, I think it came out really, really well. I'm really satisfied on how the chicken's cooked. I'm never going to cook chicken in the oven again.
Yeah, I don't think I've cooked chicken in the oven since then. I really don't.
Yeah, so
you can make cheesecake in it. You can steam stuff in it. You can make hard-boiled eggs in it.
I didn't see all that.
They have these like divider things that you can get, so you can put different veggies in little different cups, and you can steam all the vegetables at the same time.
I did see that. I hate steamed vegetables, but I did see that.
There's a lot you can do with it.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sold on this Instapot, only using it one time. I'm pretty excited. And that night, I was looking up recipes on, like, is there anything I have in my house right now that I could make in the Instapot? It was like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, I just want to use it again because it was so fun. But it's just some sort of weird voodoo. That chicken should not have cooked that fast. Yeah, so stay tuned for more Instadan's Instapot stuff.
You've now been converted.
I have. So, I was on Reddit last night looking up topics, stuff for us to talk about and stuff. And I came across this really interesting Reddit thread. And you're going to probably have to ponder on this for a second while I keep talking. But the thread said, if there was one movie you could completely delete from reality, what would it be? Do you right away have anything that pops into your head? Or is that something you'd probably have to, like, think about a little bit?
It'd be American Pie.
The original American Pie movie?
Yeah.
Wow, that was unexpected. Really?
I made it very few minutes into that movie before I went, I'm not watching this. And that was it.
Wow.
So I've never, I shouldn't say that because I've never actually seen it all the way through. But I have no interest in watching it all the way through, so...
When I was a kid, it was super funny. There was not, because like back in the day, there was like Caddyshack and other kind of like in the 80s
right.
of like rated R-ish kind of funny comedy movies and stuff. And then there was this big gap of like teen movies and stuff like that, but they were all pretty like PG-ish. And then
right.
American Pie came out, and I want to say it was like the late 90s. And,
yeah, I think so.
And American Pie came out, and it was the first like rated R like comedy, like teen comedy that had come out. So for me, like, I remember being outside of the big movie theaters on the other side of town and bumping into one of my friends coming out of the theater doors and going like, hey, what'd you see? He's like, I went and saw this American Pie movie. And I was like, what was I going to see? I think I was going to go see I See Dead People or something like that. And and then I was just like, okay. He's like, I got to go see it again. Everybody was laughing so hard in the theaters that I missed like half the jokes. And I'm like, all right, what is this about? And then I got a ticket and went, and I really enjoyed it. I really thought that movie was funny because there just wasn't any of those. Since then, there's been a billion, million, that style of movies.
Right.
But there was nothing out at the time like that. It was just a big gap that was missing. We knew movies like this existed in time because in the 80s and 70s, like, there was like Kentucky Fried Movie and all those kind of weird stuff. But there was nothing. So I liked the American Pie movie. I thought it was fun. I really like Stifler, Sean Williams. Oh, I don't remember his name. I really like the Stifler character. I like him. He's great in Goon, the movie Goon. Like, I like that guy. Wow, you really hated that movie?
I did. Like I said, I didn't watch it all the way through. I made it a few minutes in, and I didn't like it. That was the first movie that popped into my head that I can think of that I really didn't like.
I love it. I love it. So before I read you what people mostly hated on Reddit, I had a guess before I looked it up. Do you have a guess on what you think people majority hated? And keep in mind, there's a billion different movies. Everybody's got their movie that they hate. But there's a couple movies that are in there that people got together and agreed that should just be erased. Do you know who those are?
All I can think of is the Star Wars Phantom Menace.
I said that too. That was my guess. Too. Was like,
That's hilarious.
Was it Episode 1?
Right.
It was actually The Dark Tower and Fahrenheit 451. It was like Stephen King-ish type movies that just didn't hold up to how good the books were. And I can see that being a problem because people go in with that expectation of they read this really good book. Books turned into movies pretty much always suck.
You know that you're not wrong because I loved the Aragon series, and when they decided they were going to turn
that was in there.
Yeah,
Keep
when
going.
they decided they were going to turn that into a movie, I was so excited because it was during the time of like the Harry Potter, and I'm like, they can make this book amazing as a movie, and it was horrifying. It was so bad, and that's there's the Inheritance trilogy, and then they made another book after that. So there's multiple books that they could have turned into movies. It was so bad. It was so like that movie could go away. They could just delete that.
Was that
movie
about dragons?
Yeah. Yeah, it's about a kid that finds a dragon's egg, and then he raises the dragon, and the dragon becomes its own. I have the book, but I also have it. I have the audiobooks of it as well. Jamie and I have listened to it on audiobook. It's probably one of my favorite book series is the Aragon, the Inheritance trilogy. But yeah, that movie was horrible.
Yeah.
They did so bad.
People
so
did hate
bad.
that. Yeah, people did hate that. They were so disappointed. And you know what? I'm learning almost all of these are books or adaptations that have been turned into movies that have just not worked at all. Other ones that weren't really movies were like Son of the Mask. You know the movie The Mask?
Yes. Yep.
It was like that. One of the ones that maybe isn't on the top of the list that I remember going, this is awful, was the Avatar movie. Not the Blue People Avatar movie, but the Last Airbender movie.
Right.
It was the Last Airbender movie by M. Night Shyamalan. That was the first movie Blake and I ever went and saw in 3D, and I hated 3D after that because it wasn't true 3D. They like stereoscopic or whatever it is, where they afterwards they go and they try to make it 3D, and it gave me a headache, and I was really sad about it, and the plot was convoluted, and I did not want to watch another 3D movie for years before I actually went to another 3D movie because I had no choice, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is like actually pretty good. People hate Deathly Hallows. It's a Harry Potter movie. They really did not like that particular movie, but it's interesting to see what people wanted to have wiped out of existence. But a lot of people hated that Dark Tower movie.
I didn't see that one. I didn't see Dark Tower.
Yeah, Aragon, one of the most disappointing movies of my lifetime.
It was. Like, the book is... I think I read that entire book in 3 days. Like, it was nonstop. Like, I started reading... And I read books, but I read a lot of... what's his name? John Grisham books. I read a lot of that law drama book. You know, like The Client and books like that. So
you can't handle the truth.
Yeah, The Rainmaker. Like, those are the books that I read. And some of his books have been turned into movies, and they're still not as good as the books, but they're not bad. But, when I started reading the Aragon trilogy, I think it was after was it after or before? Because I read The Golden Compass, and I read that whole series of books as well. Mm-hmm. But the Aragon book, man, I opened that up and started reading it. It was like nonstop. I'm going to read this entire book. And then it was like, okay, I need the next one. And then the next. And the guy that wrote it was like 17 or 18 years old. So it was a really, really good book. And then I was so excited for that movie. And I think it's because, like, you think of, like, Lord of the Rings, and you think of, the Harry Potter movies, and you think of all of these movies that they've been able to do this amazing CGI work, for back then, and what they could have turned it into, and then they just flopped.
They just missed the mark.
They missed it. So they changed the story. They made it a very short movie. So it should have been, like, the book is so long, that movie alone could have been split into 3 parts. They could have turned that book into 3 parts easily. And they could have made a lot of money on it because it was so popular at the time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember when it came out. I didn't see it, but I remember it being super popular. Speaking of parts, a lot of people hated the Human Centipede movie.
Oh my gosh.
I still think that's not that big a deal. It was an interesting original idea, but I don't know about the execution on it. For me, it might be, there's a few things for me. One, right away, you gotta get rid of those Austin Power movies. I don't like Mike Myers and Wayne's World. I just can't with the Austin Power movies at all. I just can't. Right. I can't. I can't do it. Also, I think that maybe, and this might be pretty meta since Bill and Ted go back in time all the time, I think maybe I am here today because I've gone back in time to warn you about the new Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure movie. Because I saw that trailer, and I've talked about it before, and P.U. did that stink. I was sad. I was really sad. I don't mind Alex Winters at all. I can't do Keanu. He just looks like he doesn't care at all. At all.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned. This movie actually comes out in like 10 days. And
does it really?
Yeah. I don't know what's going to come out on, though. Crackle or Popcorn TV or something low budget like that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's going to come out on, but it comes out in 10 days. And I love Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I watched it after the one time I talked about it on the Dantix show. And then I watched Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and that one doesn't really hold up as much as the first movie does. So I'm really concerned about Bill and Ted, I don't know, Ruin My Childhood or whatever it's going to be called. So I might be here to tell you that might be the movie that I want to be wiped off the face of the earth before it even comes out.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how to see it though. We're gonna have to pay a premium if we want to see it, right?
I don't know. I mean, that's what Disney's doing with Mulan, but I don't know what all these other companies are doing. Like, I don't mind when a movie comes out like that if they want to release it direct to digital, if they want to charge like $10 for me to. I mean, like, think about it.
30.
What are you gonna pay? Not 30. But what are you gonna pay if you go to the movies and see it? $7, $9, $10, depending.
Well, I probably would want to go see it in IMAX 3D, so 14.
Yeah, but you're not gonna see it in IMAX 3D at home, so.
No, $10, I guess. Man, what was the cheapest you paid for a movie ticket? $3.25. I remember, not on cheap Wednesdays, but I remember going when I went and saw Terminator. It was $3.25 for a ticket. Now you can't get into there under $10.
You mean not like the dollar theater? Did you guys have dollar theaters?
We did. When we got a new theater out here, our old theater turned into a dollar theater, and that was fun for a while because you just go with your friends. You didn't even care what was really playing and stuff. Yep. The dollar theater got so bad that last time I went, there was a hole in the screen. The spring had busted through my seat that was broken. And I was watching TV. I was watching the movie in the back row with Blake, pretty much. And then a big puff cloud comes up from like the front row. So, so that tells you how our dollar theater was. So it got pretty bad for a while.
Kind of reminds me of how bad our theater is now. Speaking of our theater now, somebody bought both of our movie theaters in town.
Didn't one burn down? Oh, no, that was the performance theater.
That was the performance theaters. So our two movie theaters in town, the main one was at one point in time, it was called the Maltz Theater, and it was a live performance theater / opera house. He's going to restore it back to that, and then he's going to turn the other one into back into a movie theater.
An opera house. You don't even have a donut house, but you have an opera house.
It's not going to be an opera house. That's what it used to be.
I was sad when I went out there last time and everything was shut down and we were walking up the street. I don't know, what do you guys call it? Main Street or downtown there. And I walked by the Second Avenue and I walked by the movie theaters, and inside the movie theater, it was so sad because it was closed and there was a cute little popcorn machine in there, and the poor soda dispensing machine was all lit up still and just eager to please everybody with their sodas, and there was just nobody in there. And in my mind, I'm like, I think I told you, like, you should buy this. Let's run a movie theater. That would be so fun. I could usher you to your seats and bring you pizza.
Well, somebody bought it. He bought both theaters. So, and it's actually a developer in town. He's the guy that brought the Noah building, the place where you went down the slide, the place with the sunken ships.
Yes.
He's the guy that brought that to our town. Like, he bought up all that property over there and has done all that development over there. And then he bought Harborside Mall, so he's done all the development there. So he's a developer. That's what he does. So hopefully everything he said will come true, and he'll turn it into he'll restore the original theater, and then he'll turn the other movie theater into a decent movie theater.
Good. I really hope so, because you guys deserve a decent movie theater. I remember when Swifty went to the movie theaters when he was out here, and he just talked about how much his back hurt after he left the theater.
Yeah, our theaters are bad.
Yeah, so you guys do need a theater upgrade. You need a donut shop. Your town.
Yeah.
Your town needs upgrades. It is, but it's got a lot of charm and it's got a lot of things. I mean, you guys have a huge Meijer across the street from a huge Walmart, but
next door to a huge Home Depot.
Right, exactly. But yet, you're lacking these things. But I will say before we carry on to the next subject, oh my gosh, Mouse, stop it. Oh, you know what? Forget it. No, go for it. You live your best life. You run around the house. I don't care. Okay. Prove me wrong, Bill and Ted. Please prove me wrong. I really want it to be good, but I don't know how it can be. And then Bill and Ted, the movie is telling me itself, like, dude, what do you want from us? We're like, we're a cheesy comedy from 1989. But, if you're going to redo this, do it right. So I'm really hoping for it. I did not see anything about that on here as far as movies that people don't want to be made. People hate the Emoji Movie. Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, I bet.
Cats. They hate the movie Cats.
That was a creepy one.
Yeah. Did you watch the new Cats remake?
Nope.
Oh, and then there's my boy Coops. Can I delete season 8 of Game of Thrones instead? Yes! Yes, you can! Yes! So anyway, I thought that was an interesting topic, and it was fun to try to guess what people said, but I'm scrolling down half this page, and nobody has said anything about the Phantom Menace.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I will watch it. If I put it on, I'll watch it. It's just like those
too.
3 movies, because I really like the coloring and I like the visuals and stuff like that. But obviously we always make fun of the Phantom Menace, and so you gotta put that on the list. But nobody has done that. I'm gonna see if I can type it in here. Let's see. Phantom. Nope. Nobody said the Phantom Menace. Wow, the unsung hero of the worst movies that could be deleted from all time.
That's
the
so
Phantom
crazy.
Menace, yes. Speaking of deleted from all times, did you see this eagle in Upper Michigan that took out the drone? Oh my gosh. What, they're so concerned. Like, if an eagle took out the drone, I get it. Like, why would you not think that would happen? But like,
Right?
things are so like slow in the UP up there, I guess, that it's like this hugest story and this like 1,000-word write-up on this eagle that attacked one of the drones that are from the Department of the Environment out there.
Yeah, the DNR, yeah.
Yeah. So it grabbed it out of the air, it snatched it up, it dumped it in the water.
Yep.
And
to the bottom of the lake now.
To the bottom of the lake. They can't find it. They only know that it happened because apparently it sent out distress signals. I guess. I don't know. I've never had a drone. Does your drone send out distress signals?
My drone will beep if it's gonna crash or run into something. So
this was a DJI Phantom 4 Pro Advanced,
Ooh.
which cost $950. Drone prices for all those names. There's the Phantom name, the 4 names, the 4th generation, a Pro name, and an Advanced name, and it's only $950?
Yeah,
Wow.
my first drone that I ever bought was $1,700.
Yeah, right. So drone prices are going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a drone, but to $950 to play with it literally once, maybe not the best. I almost got to play with my first drone ever because we charged it up and we took it with us and then we didn't do anything with it, remember?
Yeah, well, maybe next time you come out, we'll have to do that.
Well, I don't know now because these eagles are flying over taking out the drones.
That's true.
Yes, the data from the flight indicates the drone sent 27 warning notifications a few seconds after the flight began. It's like, help!
Oh my god.
Where's Sully at? Land me! Including one regarding the propeller that had been torn off. They can't find it, but the department asks of Natural Resource wants to reprimand the eagle in some way. Good luck!
Oh my god.
Good luck! Whoever made that statement, you come on. Good luck. Those things are machines.
Yeah.
Those things are machines. You think your rad technology is good? No, that eagle is so much more dialed in.
I want to know, and I don't understand how they don't have footage from it.
They don't. The only thing that they have on here that I see is a different footage of somebody watched a trained eagle snatch drones from the sky because they were training eagles to take drones out of the sky that should not be there. Because for a while, drones were almost getting out of control as bad as laser pens were in the late 90s at every event. There was laser pointers were so big. They were big like Furby bigs. They were big like Cabbage Patch Kid bigs. They were big like Tickle Me Elmo big. There was kiosks in the mall. Now you see, what are they on there now? Now they're like cell phone covers. There were kiosks in the mall that only sold laser pointer pens.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I had mine. Did you have one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
I think everybody did.
Yeah, so they were getting out of control where they were going to events, they were flying too high, airplanes were getting close to them, and then they kind of calmed them down for a while where you were supposed to, register them. I don't know if that's still true. Did you have to, register your drone with the FCC?
Yeah, if they're over a certain size, they have to be registered.
Yeah, so these eagles are taking them out of the sky, which is kind of cool. I also seen some cool videos of, I think I seen soccer players playing soccer once, and then the drone was up there, and the dude kicked the soccer ball and blows it out of the sky. Sure, it's a cool video, but that's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
I thought that was a cool, just a little tidbit article of the bald eagle that beat down our best airborne technology that you can get,
See, Jamie's drone has an option to record stuff to his phone as well while the drone is flying, so that if something happens, you still have backup of the footage, which usually isn't as good as what's on the SD card, but at least you still have something. And that's why I'm like, how did they set that up wrong?
You're right, exactly, yeah. Especially if they are using this footage for stuff, since it's the Department of Resources. What are you doing with this footage? Are you waiting for it to land and then we're taking the SD card out? So yeah, that is odd that there is not one yet. They said that they were making a battleship type grid in the water there to try to find it, and they can't find it.
Oh my god!
Oh, probably ate it. Don't mess with these bald eagles. They're huge, by the way.
Yes, they are. They are very large. They can pick up small cats. They can pick up small dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I watched a crow out here try to pick up Kumiko that one day.
Yep. Yeah, they're not to be messed with.
No, they're not at all. So I thought that was a funny story that up in your neck of the woods, well, in the Upper Peninsula,
Yeah.
the Eagles win.
The Eagles win.
Eagles won, drone nothing. Speaking of winning, oh my gosh, Jess, tell me about the story about the Tiger King compound closing. Because here's where I was at in the story. I thought that Carol Baskin. Okay, so Joe Exotic went to jail. That Jeff guy was running the compound or the tiger compound. But I heard Carol Baskins, she won it by suing, and then she was going to close it down anyway. So is that why it's closed?
No, I guess so. I don't know exactly what happened with all of that. Like, I'm not 100% sure what happened with all of it. I know that she won, like, ownership of the zoo, but Jeff Lowe still owned the zoo. And there's two zoos. There's the Greater Wynnewood Exotic Animal Farm, which is the original zoo that was in the show. And then there's Jeff Lowe's new property that I guess he bought, where he was going to move everything and they were going to shut down the original zoo. So I was on Facebook yesterday and I saw a post from Joe's team that said that that Jeff Lowe lost his USDA license, that they were being forced to close the zoo, the Greater Wynnewood Exotic Zoo, that they were pulling their USDA license. They had to close it as a zoo. In Oklahoma, it is legal to own exotic animals, and you don't actually have to be inspected by the USDA. But if you're open as a zoo or you're letting the public on your property, you have to be inspected, from what I understand. But the USDA has forced them to close, basically saying, all these things have been happening. So Joe's team posted a thing and said, oh, all this happened. And then Jeff Lowe's team posted a thing and said, we had already decided to close the zoo. We informed the USDA that we were closing the zoo, and then they pulled our license. And I'm like, that's not how that works.
That's not how that works.
That's not how that works. I mean, for those of you that have watched this Joe Exotic and all of that, which, by the way, it is coming back to Netflix. I think they said next month they have more coming. I think is what it said. But anyway, for those of you that have been watching, you know that they all lie. Every one of them. They all lie. They're all liars. They all lie about all of it.
I don't know how I feel about this show, because at first it was fun and it was great and look at the spectacle and we're stuck at home and it got our minds off of everything. And now, like, I almost feel dirty talking about it. Like, this has gone so far bad that it's almost Jerry Springer level-esque content at this point.
It kind of is. They posted last night all of the USDA inspection reports from Jeff Lowe's from the Wynnewood Zoo, and it was kind of crazy, like the things that were posted about not having adequate veterinary care, where they were getting the animals from, the handling of the animals, that they were being fed decaying meat
or
and
husbands
spoiled meat, right? Exactly. So that all got posted like last night, that here's all the USDA reports if you don't believe Joe and you believe that they did this for no reason. And like the reports were all from July, which kind of leads me to believe that they're probably right. Like they probably did pull the license, not actually say, oh yeah, we're going to close the zoo. But it sounds like now they're closing the zoo. They're closing the original zoo. They're moving all the animals to the new property, but they're not going to allow the new property to be open to the public. They're only going to allow it to be open for filming, for like the new Joe Exotic thing. And they're going to allow it, it's going to kind of be like the Big Cat Rescue. So Big Cat Rescue is not open to the public per se. You have to like make appointments and go there, and it's not like a zoo that you can just pull up and go visit. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like that's what they're going to do with the new exotic animal farm that I don't know what Jeff Lowe's calling it, but
what a mess. Every single one of those people are deplorable.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Carol Baskins is doing cameos now. You're bumping elbows with celebrities on cameos, and it's gone off the rails. It's awful. It all needs to be shut down. Somebody needs to come in here and just stop all of it. Yeah. Just stop it all. It's
crazy because like I feel like invested now. I just want to know where it's going to go from here, especially after watching the whole series and everything. I'm like, well, now I want to know.
It's only down. It's only going to go down.
It's so crazy because now, like right now on Facebook, it's like you go to Joe's page and he's like, here's all the things. And you go to the Greater Wynnywood page or Jeff Lowe's page and it's like, does this look like we voluntarily forfeited everything? We blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my God, this is so high school.
Yeah. And when you say from Joe's camp, he's straight up in prison.
Yes, he is. But he still has, I think his husband runs his Facebook page and pretty much he'll say, write this. And his husband writes it as if he's Joe.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Are people that invested in it still?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's trending on Google. It was trending on Google yesterday and today, Joe Exotic. And it's because of this and because the show's coming back. And, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the bubonic plague is trending on Google. So that tells you the caliber of, what's going on there.
I mean, it's 2020.
It's 2020. Anything goes. Anything goes. You know what? And I probably will. Unfortunately, I will watch more Tiger King stuff just because I guess I have to see the train wreck.
Right.
But
right.
I feel dirty admitting that. Like I don't even want to admit that. I don't know.
I don't care. I'm watching it. I want to know where it's going to go from here. There's got to be a good outcome eventually. Somebody's got to come in and save those animals eventually.
They should all just feed themselves to the tigers. What happened with that? Carol got like exonerated from that, and they're not investigating her feeding her husband to the tigers? I don't know.
I haven't seen... I thought there was a whole new investigation that was going to be happening, but I'm not sure.
It's like nobody cares anymore. Killed her husband, whacked him. That's my song for the day. Oh, speaking of songs, how's your Glee-a-thon going? Because pretty much every night now you'll send me a picture of Glee on the screen, and you sent me it was like Glee's Christmas Boogaloo yesterday, and they were singing songs, and it's how's that going? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, still, I love that show. I don't care what anybody says. I love it.
You convinced me to try to watch episode 1 today. So today I will watch episode 1. You said if you like Pitch Perfect, Dan, you're going to like this. And it's like, well, I like Pitch Perfect, but I don't know if it was because of the singing or just the silliness. So.
Well, and there's both. Like, I think Glee has a little bit of everything. In the later episodes with Brittany, the blonde-haired cheerleader, she's probably like, she always has the best one-liners. Like in the Christmas episode, she still believes in Santa. And everybody's like, wait, she still believes in Santa? And then, like, she asks Santa to make her boyfriend be able to walk because he's in a wheelchair. And everybody's like, oh no, how do we convince her that? How do we fake a Santa and have a fake Santa go over there and tell Santa that we can't make this happen? And I'm like, this is so crazy.
It doesn't even matter if it was the real Santa. He doesn't perform miracles.
Well, she thought he was magic.
Oh no, I don't know. I wonder if I'll like it. What if I do like it? Then how many seasons of Glee am I in for?
I think there's only 6, because I think in season 5 was when Corey Monolith passed away. And, like, the show was going in a certain direction, and then the main character died in real life, and they kind of had to, like, change everything. Everything changed really rapidly after that. So the show took a turn, and they ended it the next season. Because I think the vision that they had for it was now just gone.
Right.
Because there's, like, a lot of different, like, love story things and the whole part of it, and I think that, like, in the end, one of the writers had said that, they had planned on ending the show with Rachel and Finn, getting married and blah 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 or whatever, and well, that all that happened because he overdosed. So
in real life,
okay. Yeah. So once that happened, and it was mid-season, I think it was mid-season filming when it happened, so they really had to tie up all these loose ends, and they did a really good job. They really, really did a good job of it, but the show couldn't really recover after that.
Okay, so that was the end of the show pretty much after that.
Yeah. Season 6 just wasn't that. The feeling was gone. Like, it was just sad to watch at that point, so, yeah.
Well, I'll give it a shot. After we're done here while I'm editing the podcast, I will put it on the TV, because you said it's on the Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, my God. Oh, real quick, before we get out of here, I got to tell you another Netflix thing that I watched this week. I don't know if you've scrolled past the Love on the Spectrum.
No.
It's up there, and it's on the new stuff, and it says Love on the Spectrum, and it's kids that are on... adults, I guess. Kids, I call them kids, that are on the spectrum, and they're trying to find love.
Oh.
And it's interesting. It's like a 6-part reality show where, you know, they go on some dates and stuff like that. And you kind of see the struggles and the things that they're dealing with being on the spectrum and trying to date other people that are on the spectrum. And I don't really have much comment on it other than, like, it's, for me, any kind of documentary that is told well, I don't care what the subject is, I'm sucked in. Like, there's nothing more cooler than being surprised and sucked into something that you think you would never be sucked into. And I scrolled past it, and I'm sure you at home have scrolled past it too a few times, like, okay, well, whatever, this is like a dating show. But it's not, you know, it's kind of like almost like an MTV True Life where they follow some people around and they try to go on dates and stuff like that, and they're on the spectrum, and just to try to see how, like, they want love too. And so I do recommend it. It was a really good watch for 6 episodes of Love. It's called Love on the Spectrum. Huh. So you'll have to check that out. You know, they're functioning, but they all have spectrum traits. I don't know how to word that. So right. But it's interesting. It kept my interest. So if you guys were on the fence about that, it came out not too long ago, maybe like a month or 2 ago. It came out, and I watched it and I enjoyed it. I binged. It's good when you binge watch something the whole night. And it's always like, I always binge watch things bad. If there's 6 hours left in the day and there's 7 episodes, I'm in trouble. All of a sudden it's 1 a.m. and it's like, do I watch one more episode or do I go to bed? I don't know what to do.
Right.
I don't know what to do. So I recommend that one. I thought that was a pretty good watch.
I'll have to add that one to my list after I finish Glee.
Yeah, it was very, yes. Yeah, so I will be back next week with the Glee report.
Oh, God.
I will tell you if it should be canceled and it's my new favorite canceled movie and it beats Austin Powers, or if I'm singing Glee songs. What do you guys call them? They're Gleekheads? Gleekheads?
Gleeks.
Are you a Gleek?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh my gosh. How many episodes do you watch a night? Because you're always sending me screenshots.
I usually get through 2. Just depends. It's usually about 10 o'clock when Jamie goes and plays Call of Duty, so I usually watch for maybe 2 hours, if that. And that's
Are they hour-long episodes?
They're like 40 minutes or something.
Okay. So they're formatted for an hour.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Well, I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say about That was it. All right, let's get out of here, Jess. We've been going for over an hour. It's 93 degrees now.
Oh my gosh.
I have my door shut, so I can't let any air out because I don't want the traffic to be in the podcast.
It's 66 here.
Oh, I know. You always feel so bad when you tell me the weather. Like, I'm sorry, Dan, but it's 58 this morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're dying, but it's amazing here.
It's bad. Do you remember yesterday how we went on this adventure where I tried to go find an air conditioning unit?
Yep.
Not happening. Not happening in our town. They're all gone. Not really happening online either. They're gone as well on there.
Yep.
I don't know how much I love myself, though. Is it $598 worth of loving myself to keep cool? Or, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. For me, it becomes a production thing. I can lay on the couch and do nothing for days and days and days on end, or I can spend $600 and be comfortable and get work done.
Man, it's like, it's not bad until like between the hours of like 2 o'clock and like 5 o'clock are just useless every day. There's nothing you can do. It makes you feel lethargic, like there's a magnifying glass on me, like I'm an ant.
Yeah, see, I just can't imagine wasting that much time every single day during the summer. I just can't. I just can't. There's a reason I have air conditioning in my house. That's why.
might be the one reason why I missed the bike shop.
Right.
Because there's air conditioning in there.
Oh, the bad dog just woke up and came in here.
Oh, all right. Let's wrap this up before she goes and eats rocks. You'll know if she ate rocks or not today if she goes swimming in the pool with Indy and she sinks right to the bottom.
Yep. Hi, Kira. Do you want to say hi to the podcast? Do you want to sniff the microphone? Sniff the microphone. Hi. What are you doing? You can't eat the microphone.
She said, "Yeah."
Don't lick me. What are you doing? Okay.
She's on a bad marathon. It's a badathon.
She's got her face right in the microphone. Are you gonna say hi to everybody? I'm gonna say hello. Hi, hello. Don't put your tongue in my mouth.
No. Oh, she's fired. All right. That'll do it for this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. Listen to us every Wednesday on your favorite music app. Interact with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon at CC Mouse Podcast. Rep our merch at CC Mouse Podcast. And if you do get our merch, post some pictures and tag us in it. We'd love to see you guys repping our stuff. It really means a lot.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week. Same mouse time, same mouse podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Hey, guess what?
You're gonna go watch some more Glee?
No, I'm gonna go clean out the camper. But we did a thing.
Yes, we've done 84 things now.
Oh my gosh. Bye.